Okay, if you're just getting started on your YouTube golf journey, please, you need to avoid this one mistake that I see so many people doing when they're first starting their YouTube golf journey or their golf creator journey. Avoid this one mistake. All right, guys, let's just jump right into it. So if you have never been to this channel before, I have posted previous videos on gear that I use to go out and film YouTube golf for clients. I've worked with a lot of different creators, some of the biggest ones in the actual space. I've also been able to film the best players in the world in the game of golf. And in 2020, I switched all my media over into golf. Since then, I watch a lot of YouTube golf. I need to. It's part of my job to stay on taps with a lot of stuff that's out there. I currently manage a big YouTube golf account right now. So right away, I'm not gonna keep you to the end of the video to tell you the one thing to not do and leave you with the cliffhanger like that in the beginning. So I'm gonna tell you right away. If you are trying to start a YouTube golf journey, even if it's not on YouTube, let's just say you wanna start being a golf content creator, course vlogs, challenges, reviews, whatever it may be, do not go out and buy a camera right out of the gate. I know it feels like that's your step into like, well, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna finally do it. I'm gonna buy a camera, I'm gonna buy all the gear, and I'm gonna get going. That is not going to make your YouTube golf or golf creator journey start at all. In fact, you may actually be pushing yourself further down the line because either you just went into debt, you just spent a bunch of cash, you put it on a credit card, whatever it may be. Gear is all cool and everything, but remember at the end of the day, it's just a tool. And I think that you could have saved a lot of money. I think that your entire setup when you first start out with wanting to do golf content creating needs to start under $100. Let's just say you spent $2,000 in general on a bunch of gear, but you don't even know how to use it. You are putting all the settings on auto. You aren't even really using that Ferrari of a camera and you're treating it like a Mazda. If you're doing that, you're wasting time, you're wasting money, and it's not gonna look that much better than what a cell phone could do. So I put together pretty much a package bundle that's gonna cost you less than $100, and you'll be able to start today creating golf content. So the first thing, cell phone, iPhone, Samsung, Android, whatever it is you have, that is what you are gonna start with. These phones are good enough now that if you put some time and effort in and you start learning about the settings of these phones, it's gonna be way easier for you to transition into getting a camera and you'll know exactly what to do. Because now these phones, especially the Pro series of some of these iPhones, you can shoot some really great quality video on it if you know what you're doing. And it's a lot easier to learn on this than it's going to be if I handed you a $4,000, $5,000 camera setup, put it in your hands and said, go make me YouTube golf content. You're gonna be more stuck on trying to figure out the settings versus what you should be focused on, which is a concept list. So let's just say before I even jump into that, the first one I would say, you all have a cell phone. So you're gonna use your cell phone. Don't get a camera, use your cell phone to video. If you want the highest quality of filming on your cell phone, you wanna film at 4K 24 or 4K 30 frames per second. We're gonna film everything in those settings. Unless we want the ability to slow footage down in editing, then we are gonna film at 4K 60. You cannot slow down 4K 24 footage. You cannot slow down 4K 30 footage. But if you want slow motion for a certain shot or a B-roll shot, it will be in 4K 60. Number two, audio. If you're itching to go out and buy something, the one thing you should go and buy, and that is so easy and accessible now, is audio. You need to go out and purchase audio because people care more about sound than they do about visual. It is a known fact that you could watch a video in 720p, low grade, low quality, not 4K, but if the audio is good, then you'll stay in the video. But I could show you a video at 6K, but if the audio's freaking terrible, it's all windy, it's all like, just sounds terrible, you're gonna click off of that video. That is a known fact, not just on YouTube, but in content in general. There's a reason why I'm using a mic right now to give you this video. If I'm filming on a $4,000 setup right now and I take this audio out and it just sounds like, you're gonna click off if you had to hear that the whole entire time. And I would too. It is the best time for you to do this right now because it is so cheap to get into audio now. The audio that you're hearing right now is coming from the DJI Mic Minis. These are only $60 brand new now. 60 bucks. That's it. When I got it, it was like almost $200, but now it's gone down so much because so many other versions have come out. It's not like those versions have gotten even crazy better. They just offer more settings. They offer a screen to flip. You don't need all that shit. You literally could use the DJI Mic Mini and get this type of quality of audio. So 60 bucks, I will link that in the description. It will be an Amazon link right there that you can go. It'll take you straight to the one that costs $60. Like 60 bucks to get this type of audio, really freaking good. That is the second step of the package that you need to go out and get is invest into audio, 60 bucks, and you're in the game. Third step, you need to get an editing software. Unless you're going to pay money and hire an editor, you're going to have to edit your own stuff. Now, I don't know if you are gonna do YouTube or if you're gonna do just on the social side. It is much easier to be on the short form side, way easier, especially on the editing part. So let's just say that you are gonna go the YouTube route. A software you're gonna need, which comes in a lot of Apple Mac computers, is iMovie. That is free, and iMovie is plenty good enough to get the job done when you're first starting out. They make it user-friendly and very basic and simple for all of us to use. My uncle uses iMovie, and it's free if you already have a Mac computer. If you're using a Windows, I don't know what's wrong with you. Now, if you're going on the short form content side, it's even easier for you because Instagram is free, TikTok is free. But like if you're doing short form, it's so much easier to do short form than it is YouTube Golf. And we're gonna get into why that is and why you should really consider before you jump into YouTube Golf. There's a lot of considerations you need to really think about before taking that next step. I highly recommend to not edit long form content on your cell phone. You're gonna have some bad arthritis with your thumbs and fingers, and you're just gonna drive yourself insane, and you're gonna hate the process, and you're gonna probably quit after a week because it's gonna be really, really annoying. You need a laptop, you need a computer, and you need to be able to like put that footage on there and go ahead and start cutting it up using a keyboard. It'll make life easier, the process becomes better, and you will enjoy it and you will last longer in the game and trying to do golf content creating. Now, I know you may be wondering, well, what's gonna hold up my cell phone when I'm out filming? The reason why I did not mention like an iRange, which ideally you do wanna get, especially if you're, I have the clip always back here ready to go, so that way I can always, boom, clip up my phone, film a shot. I can do that in under 30 seconds and I'm in the golf shot. And it makes it so simple to do, you guys, where I would recommend that, but I'm trying to keep the budget underneath $100. So if you do have a little bit more to spend and you're looking for something to hold your cell phone up while you're on the golf course, I highly recommend you look at iRange. I use it, all my buddies use it, all the biggest creators in the world use iRange, pro players use iRange. If you go to PGA Tour events, Live Golf events, there will be iRanges all on the driving range. Everybody uses it at this point, so if you don't have one in your bag, I don't know what you're doing. If you're trying to figure out how to stay underneath $100 and you need something to hold your phone up, you can get those cheap little tripods from Amazon, but it's always very dicey. I don't want to recommend those because they could fall over. Ideally, what I would recommend is take a friend with you golfing, take your girlfriend, take your wife, see if you can make them a part of the process to be able to help you, because someone always holding the camera, holding the phone is always going to be better than just being stationary, especially if you have the option to bring someone with you. Instead of going and getting a cheap flimsy tripod that is definitely going to fall over, grab it if you need to, and especially for like cement concrete driving ranges, if that's all you have, then use it if you have to use it. But just know that cell phones are pretty top heavy and those flimsy tripods are very bottom light, which means a little bit of wind and it's gonna fall. So it's just gonna happen. Something you really have to keep in mind and keep aware of. So I don't wanna set you up for failure. I don't want your phones to crack or your cameras to crack. That's just something you really need to consider. But if you're ready right now, then go get the iRange. End of story, done and done. You don't need anything else. You don't need anybody to film you. You can set that thing up so fast. Once you keep this on the back of your phone all the time, especially if you play a lot of golf, then just keep that on there, set the iRange up, bang, we're filming, we're in the shot, and we don't have to slow up play at all. iRange does the best, makes it the best. I do have an ambassadorship with them only because they are the best in the game. I don't even know if there's any other companies who can compete with iRange at this point because they are the best in the game. That's why all big creators use them. And that's why I use them. I've used them since the beginning. So link in the description for that. I also have a promo code down there so it can save you some money when you do get your iRange. So above all, you guys, I would say some of the things you need to consider on what side of golf content you're going to create, because this will tell you sometimes what gear you need to actually go and shoot this content. If you're like, hey, I'm gonna start doing a golf podcast, well, you can do that all on a cell phone. And just a heads up, I know the Peter Finch production team guys, and they do that stuff all on cell phones. They do Finch's podcast literally all on cell phones. And the audio is the primary thing that they worry about. And I think it's great. For the longest time, I remember when Rick Shields' team, they were using cell phones for always down the line. The reason why is because cell phones can always make it easier to trace the golf shot. With that being said, really don't shun on using the cell phone. Don't feel embarrassed that you're using a cell phone. There's a lot of still big creators where cell phone is sometimes clutch because in a camera, there's so many components. You have audio you need to worry about. If you have batteries for audio, you have to worry about changing the batteries and charging those up. You have lenses you have to worry about. Do you have the right focal length? Can you reach very far? Do you have too short of a lens where you only have 35 mil? So you gotta run to the person to be able to film them versus a long lens where you could be able to zoom in. But then you have to worry about monitoring audio. So now you have to invest into headphones. I would say instead of you spending the money on a camera, spend the money on a person who already knows how to use the camera and they know how to specifically film golf content, meaning that's what they do. I'm not talking about some wedding videographer that's like, well, he's got a camera and he looks to shoot with all these low aperture lenses. Please make sure that when you are searching for, I'll make a whole YouTube video about this on how to find someone, film golf content and edit golf content. I will literally make an entire video about this. I'm currently fully booked, so I can't take anybody. So this isn't even a plug for me. My recommendation, start on short form. There's a lot of great big creators that have started on short form. They've taken that following and at a certain time when it's right, they've moved it over to YouTube. So build your following on short form. It's a lot easier to edit. Do that. Once you're ready, you'll have a little bit of a budget because maybe you're making some money with some brand deals, partnerships, or maybe you're monetized on Instagram or on TikTok, or even if you're just monetized off of YouTube Shorts. All those things right there will generate revenue that you'll be able to put back into your business because you're gonna have to invest. There's no getting around that. You're gonna have to invest into editors, into videographers. You will have to do it if you're looking to really do this thing seriously. And I know you're saying, oh, I could just film it on my own. Look, guys, I can film all my shit on my own. And I still don't like to because it's taking away from the thing that I want to be doing in front of the camera, which is shooting the best scores I possibly can. I play off of scratch now. I really take my game seriously. I really like to have fun too. But at a certain point, I want to win. If I'm playing in a tournament, the last thing I want to do is be filming myself and trying to focus on winning a golf tournament. Do you know how hard that is? So don't do that. Don't make that mistake. If you're gonna dedicate the time to learning about a camera, do it with your phone. Because maybe you're buying something that you were told at Best Buy is like, well, no, this is the best. This is the best. I can tell you this right now. A lot of those guys at Best Buy don't know shit. And a lot of the guys at a lot of camera shops don't know shit, especially when it comes to filming golf. They film weddings, they film portraits, they film graduations and shit like that. I'm not knocking that shit or whatever. Do what you gotta do, make the money, and if you enjoy it, fantastic. But just because someone films all that other stuff, it doesn't transfer over into golf. You think I filmed golf in the same way I filmed all my fighters? All my NFL players? No, it's completely different. So that's pretty much it, you guys. Thank you for watching this far. If you made it this far, consider subscribing down below. I will put out more stuff like this. I've actually helped out multiple people that have been subscribers that have called me, DM'd me and asked me. I've got so many DMs, which I really, really love, you guys, because it makes me feel better that I know people aren't out there getting the wrong advice from people who don't even create in the circles that we create in. And it's like, How are you gonna give out all this advice and you have nothing as a reference to back that up? Just because somebody else said it, this is what you're gonna go off of. And I've seen it, you guys. People have copied some of my videos. People have copied some of the things and subjects that I'm trying to talk about. And I know some of them of who they are. And I know that their references don't exist. They don't film for a living. They don't even know how to film. They have everything on auto themselves, but are here trying to tell you guys, well, you got to buy this camera. You got to buy this lens. They just want you to buy from them. That's all that they want. And I hate that kind of attitude. I hate that that exists in any industry. And I don't want you guys getting suckered into anything. I care about my subscribers. I care about the people that maybe are working their ass off so they can save up money to be able to put into their business or put into doing YouTube golf or putting into trying to get the gear that they need so that way they can move forward and make good content, make good entertainment, or bring value and information, whatever it may be. I resonate with that stuff, you guys. I don't appreciate those other creators out there ripping off titles and subjects and putting it out there as they're some kind of guru in the space when nobody knows who you are. We've never seen you on any of these big shoots. And then we find out who they are and we're like, oh, you don't really know what you're doing. And I'm not trying to throw shade, you guys. I'm not trying to chop down someone else's tree to make mine bigger. Mine is already fantastic, growing fruit, tons of shade, but I just don't want anyone ripping you guys off. That's my main thing that I really want to focus on here with this channel. When we talk on the podcast, we give you 100% truth on everything, on what we feel about it as consumers, as players, as people who actually can hit a damn golf ball. So I really appreciate every single one of you that watch, every single one of you that jump in my DMs and ask me a question about gear. What should I do here? What should I do there? And I tell you guys, some of the answers are very similar because you guys are all like, what camera should I buy? What camera should, but I ask you 50,000 questions before you even go, and you don't have the answers to them because you haven't thought about it, which is a great thing because this is why we're having the conversation of like, hey, these are some of the steps I would take before, because I don't want you guys to make the same mistake that I've seen other creators make where they just spend a ton of money and now they're like, nah, I'm done with this. Now you got to sell the gear. You're going to take a loss. I don't want that for you guys. I don't want that on the gear side, and I don't want that on the club side. We are going to start doing club reviews of budget-friendly options, direct-to-consumer options, options that are not the big brand manufacturers. Don't have anything against the big brand manufacturers except for the fact that I know that there's more people who could get into this game going on this golf journey since 2020 that you could pretty much put anything in my hand now and I could probably make it work. But I am very big on custom fitting, custom specs for every single golf club is very, very, very important, you guys. So we'll get into all that in other videos, but I just want to let you guys know that is coming up and that is on its way. Camera gear videos, YouTube golf gear, etc. Gonna still continue with that. We got the podcast going and we're also gonna have club reviews going. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. I'll see you on the next video.